the 2017 BICSI Fall Conference with BICSI's President-elect, Jeffrey Beavers. Jeffrey, thanks very much for being here with us.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
You've been President-elect now for nearly 2 years. In February, you'll take over the gavel as President.
Correct.
Wondered if you could tell us about this nearly 2-year span that you've been President-elect of BICSI, what the experience has been like for you, what you've gotten out of it, and what you've contributed to BICSI, don't be modest, in those 2 years.
Very good. So what it does, part one of this is our process. We have 2 years as President-elect, the last 2 years as President. So that allows continuity. You know, we're all about testing and continuity, what that means for cabling, but for our strategic plan, some of those could take years to be realized. And so we need continuity from when the board strategizes that. So we plan the work and we work the plan. So
right.
the 2 years of President-elect and 2 years as President allows that plan to be followed through. So that's fantastic. It's fantastic for the members and our programs. What it's done for me is it's just a whole new perspective, right? Even as region director, there are some things that I don't see, but you see it from a different perspective, from the nuts and bolts of BICSI,
right.
And really see the efforts to expand globally, and that is a challenge, right? So I mean, it's one thing to expose ourselves and build our programs here in the continental United States, but globally, every country, every place has its own nuances and particularities, right. And how we deliver it is different for every country, every city, every locale. So that global perspective really was an eye-opener, and it's not an easy solution.
Right.
And what works in Mexico City may not work in Bangkok, Thailand. So really is an eye-opener to the challenges, but really ultimately people want the same thing. It's opportunities come from access to information,
right.
And how we get that to
right.
them, not just affordably, but in their own language, and that's relevant. And
right.
so for me personally, it's really just changing my perspective on the global needs and how we deliver it.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me how that new perspective may have shaped what you're looking at now? You'll have 2 years as BICSI president. When you take that gavel in February, I know you'll make a speech to the assembly of membership that's gathered there, and maybe I'm asking for a little sneak preview of some of what we might hear in that speech come wintertime as you take over as president, based on these past couple of years of experience as president-elect.
Yeah, so I'm reminded not just my own experience, but I met this guy in South Korea as an RCD. His name is Forrest Yoon, one of our volunteer leaders. He tells a story of how 20 years ago he was working in the markets, selling trinkets and things like that. But he had the opportunity for training, and had the opportunity to obtain his RCD, and he says it changed his life forever.
Wow.
And so my story is similar. You know, I was easily not focused on education. My pathway here was the United States Air Force, where I got training in cable splicing,
right.
Whereas I wouldn't have been exposed to that otherwise. So that really shaped me, and I think that experience and the testimony of Forrest Yoon in South Korea really is probably similar to much of our global members or future members and their needs, and just access to information. But also shaping it this is that outside the U.S. they may not be interested in membership. It might just be the education and
right.
credentials.
Right.
Membership may not be as highly valued globally as it might be here in the U.S. So it's first and foremost, it's education and credentials, and really does change lives. And so I'm really excited to
right.
be part of that.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you for that insight and for your time today, Jeffrey. Really appreciate it, and certainly look forward to February when you take over as BICSI president. Not that any of us are glad to see Brian Ensign go necessarily, but I know the torch will be passed admirably, and look forward to your couple of years beginning in February.
I look forward to it. I look forward to more, and then getting to know you better and our community better. So,
excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. All right.